Do you want to just...
No.
No? You're not done?
I'm thinking writing final notes.
Final notes.
It's not like I've got exams anytime soon or anything.
No, but hey, you have to live life, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, 3 hours of your time was taken to Avengers Endgame, so...
I gave it, gladly.
Gave it, yeah. Easily, thankfully.
I gave it.
And it was good. It was enjoyable.
It was.
What would you give Endgame out of 10? Actually, let's not do any of that. Because
That's
it might determine where you put it on the list. I don't want to know.
That is
So
true.
we thought, because people are doing this online now all the time, we should rate all the MCU films from best to worst. Now, I was going to do that before when Endgame came out. But then I said I might as well just wait till
Endgame comes out.
till it actually comes out to do it. That way I can actually make a full list of all the films and
of these phases.
Put some type of structure to the list here.
Yeah.
To see how the films made us feel throughout the years, and just see how different our lists are. Because I feel there's going to be some similarity.
It's definitely going to be somewhere quite similar in character as people, because we're siblings.
Yeah.
But I think you're going to fight me on something.
Oh!
Honestly.
Oh, the spice is gonna come!
I wish we had some tea, honestly.
Do you want to make some tea?
No.
No, okay.
It's too late in the
All
day.
right, it is a bit late. So we're just going to start with number 22, okay? But we're going to do it, so we're going to list 22 and 21, and then we're going to go in lots of 5.
Okay.
Yeah? So that way when we get down to... Or maybe we'll do that.
Yeah, because then it works in 5.
And we'll do in the final 2 separately, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so, Indy. What is your 22 and 21?
22 is Captain Marvel.
Oh.
21 is Ant-Man and Wasp.
Oh, okay. Very similar here.
Oh!
I got Ant-Man Wasp as 22.
Uh-huh.
I thought it was the worst MCU film by far.
It was
absolute garbage.
It was 22 on my list, and then I remember there was Captain Marvel, and I was like, oh, I need to switch those around.
No, so I have Captain Marvel at 21. Similar, very close. We're already not 100%
I'm going to be really brief about my reasoning.
Yeah.
Characterization.
Yeah.
There
was
Captain
nothing.
Marvel's character arc is flat, and it's only got the continuity to be flat. You can't have a perfect character from the get-go. You need to have struggle to make them human in the idea that you can relate to them.
Yeah.
Also, in Ant-Man and the Wasp, the storyline was
all over the place.
And plot-holey. There were problems.
It's because they were setting up Endgame in a way because of the quantum realm.
It was because they had to fit everything together, so it made it not the best
overall story.
Compared to Ant-Man, which was an amazing
I liked
film.
Ant-Man.
It was so good.
Yeah. It just was a letdown comparatively.
Letdown
and the Wasp was... I preferred Evangeline in Ant-Man and the Wasp than in the Wasp, but her waspness also took away from her character in a way. I just didn't like the way she portrayed the Wasp part of the character.
It was a bit
But I liked the way she portrayed Hope Van Dyne.
Yeah.
So it's each their own, but those are 21, 22. So
similar.
I guess similar. So do you want me to list 20 to 15?
Yeah, you go on, you go there.
20 to 16. So number 20 is the Hulk. 19 is Thor the Dark World. 18 is Iron Man. 17 is Ant-Man. And 16 is Iron Man 3.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Right, so my 20 is the Hulk.
Oh!
So we really are very similar. 19 is Iron Man 3.
Okay.
18 is Thor 2.
Wow, you like Thor 2 that much? I mean, I had it at 19, so...
17 is Iron Man 2.
Okay.
Yeah. And 16 is Thor.
The first Thor! That low!
No, stop. I love the first Thor, but it was weighing up with everything else.
That's a rewatchable film for me.
It is, but at the same time, it's grown on me. But when you look at all the other bangers in this list, it had to drop down because young Thor and Loki, it makes me almost angry watching them now because I'm an adult now.
Yeah.
I'm like, why are you throwing temper tantrums? I almost can't relate to them as much.
Oh, well, I can relate to Loki.
Yeah.
And Thor, you know?
Yeah, but
I
it had to go somewhere.
I see
and
it has to go.
There.
Wow, okay.
It's interesting. I'm glad you put
We're
Incredible
similar,
Hulk
we're
as
similar.
20.
Yeah, they're similar lists. I'm just surprised that Thor is that low, honestly.
I love Thor, but also Thor Ragnarok is so good.
Yeah. Thor Ragnarok is...
And that deserves a position of power.
Higher up the list, yeah. Alright. So we agree, disagree, but we got similar wavelengths here. So what's from 16 to 11, I guess?
So 16 was Thor. 15 was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Wow, okay.
I'll explain it. 14 was Black Panther.
Okay.
13 was Avengers Age of Ultron. 12 was Avengers Infinity War. And 11 is Endgame.
Whoa. It started off like we're the same, and then it.
Oh, and then it veered off.
Yeah, right.
Wait.
Endgame and Infinity War so low on the list.
You know what?
And people will say Black Panther's low on the list, but
Okay,
I don't-
I'll give really brief reasons for each of them.
All right, here we go.
Right. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, great.
Wait, was that 15 on
That
your
was
list?
15.
Okay.
Storyline, it was a bit see-through and lacking.
Yeah.
I could get from the get-go that Daddy-O was not a good person.
Not a good guy.
I got it really
Kurt Russell,
quick.
no
I
bueno.
love Kurt Russell, but no.
Yeah.
And even though they tried to emulate the feeling of the first Guardians, they did it well, but with all these other bangers on the list,
It just didn't slap as much,
didn't
you're
slap.
saying.
Exactly. It didn't
So you
slap.
said slap only refers to music. Now
Right.
you're saying slap's okay.
For Marvel, yes.
Wow.
MCU. Black Panther I really enjoyed, but characterization I wasn't that fond of. And
Yeah.
also the CGI at
Oh,
the
thank
end.
God.
It
Yeah.
actually broke what was such good work
Was-
for
it
the
was
rest
a
of the
good film. They
it
just
was
destroyed
it
it.
was like 2000s video game CGI. It was so bad, and it just ruined broke
the
this
vibe,
feeling of
the
Wakanda
feel.
being so amazing.
Yeah, I get that.
13 Age of Ultron. I rewatched Age of Ultron recently. Adored it.
Yeah.
But it has to go somewhere.
Yeah.
12 Infinity War, and then 11 Endgame. Infinity War's more rewatchable than Endgame. Endgame was
So
a bit
why is
hard
it lower
hitting.
then as well? But I understand the thing of it.
It's
But,
honestly, I don't need to put myself through that emotional turmoil.
but then
it's a
Infinity
lot.
War being that low.
It's not that it's low.
11,
If you look at my
12's low.
if you
12
look
is bottom 50%.
Oh!
12 is bottom 50% of MCU films.
Okay, you're right. But my top 10 are films I can rewatch over and over again. And I
Yeah.
would really enjoy them, and that's for me
That's
what
how
makes a
you
good film.
gauge it, whether it's rewatchable or it's good or bad.
So go on.
Wow, okay, so at 15 I had Spider-Man Homecoming.
Okay.
14 was Black Panther. 13 was Avengers 2. 12 is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. And
Okay.
11 is the first Thor.
Wow. Okay. Interesting.
The first Thor, yeah. It's that high for me. I really, really enjoyed the film. I can rewatch it whenever. It has that... It's that fish out of water story with Thor. And then the sibling rivalry as well. It just really works well as a film. I think Kenneth Branagh did a great job with that one. Apart from the
Yeah.
Dutch angles, which were awful.
We'll get into that another
Dutch
point.
angles are when you make a shot, but it's at an angle that's not 90 degrees, not a straight shot. So it's like this halfway. Yeah, he loves them. Apart from that, it's a great film.
Okay.
So yeah, Guardians 2 is 12 for me. I understand what you're saying with it. I just
Yeah.
have a particular place in my heart for the
You
Guardians
love
franchise.
Guardians,
So
yeah.
reason that Avengers 2, like you said, I rewatched it a couple months ago and I was
I
like,
really liked
damn,
it.
it's actually a good film.
It was the
People
first
underrate it,
time.
I think.
Really?
Really, I think I underrated it because I watched it a couple times. I was like, it's not that good actually. It's good, but it's not that good. And I was like, no, I changed my mind. It's actually
Absolutely.
really fun.
Grown on us.
Really
Yeah.
fun. It's so comic booky. It got that feel of the first Avengers in it, which was the most comic booky.
Yeah.
But with a bit more realism. And
Yeah.
I think it really put together a good film there. But
It was really
some
well
people
done.
don't see it that way. Black Panther, like you said, good. Not as hyped as what people think it is. People
Yeah.
say it shouldn't have got nominated for best film at the Oscars. It
No.
wasn't that good. Infinity War was a better film than it that year, and it didn't get nominated. So I don't think it was that good. Like a 6.5 out of 10. Good, solid, but maybe 7.
It's not a favourite.
Bit of a letdown, you know. But still solid. Spider-Man: Homecoming, yeah, that's 15 for me. That I'm wondering where
That's
that's on
really
your list though,
interesting,
because that's
actually.
15 for me.
That's really interesting. And if you want, I can get into it.
Oh, you can, of course. So you're
so
number 10, I guess.
Is Spider-Man. And honestly, I think I've always loved Spider-Man. Tobey
Yeah.
Maguire, Spider-Man. I adored Andrew
Yeah.
Garfield as Spider-Man. I really liked.
Really, I liked him in the first one. I didn't like the
I
second one.
didn't mind the
but
second one. The first one was
okay.
really good.
Yeah.
Peter Parker being like back in school.
Yeah.
There's just this feeling about it that you're just like, because also I'm still in school technically. Like I'm at university.
Yeah.
There's this just like
The
this,
feel of
this
it, walking
feeling
around
of
your-
being
yeah.
like, oh, this is so almost real.
Yeah.
It's got this
A
real-
visceral feel to it because you're actually in that.
Yeah, absolutely. Like
thing.
living vicariously through
Yeah.
is like the most true in Peter Parker Spider-Man with Tom Holland being Peter Parker, and I really liked it. There were some elements of the film that I wasn't too
Fond of.
but still, it's a really enjoyable film.
Yeah, it's a fun film, but
that's
I
my
loved it's number 10. I love Michael Keaton in it. I think he did a really good job as Vulture, and Tom Holland's great as Spider-Man.
really
I just
good.
feel overall a bit lacking, but number 10
It
is
is
still
okay.
high on your list. So number 9.
Number 9 is Captain America: Civil War.
Okay.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Great film. heavy hitting.
Heavy.
It's
Heavy,
really,
like, boom,
it's really,
boom, yeah.
really heavy. But that fight scene, that collision, it literally knocks you off your feet.
That's comic booky as well. Like, straight up. Yeah.
It was honestly like so good.
Yeah.
And then 8 is Ant-Man because it's
Wow, that's so high! Oh my god, where was Ant-Man was 17! I mean,
Ant-Man is one of those films you can rewatch.
it's fun. Like, I understand you're gauging.
The storytelling is just so good.
Yeah.
And
fun.
Scott Lang, like, the gang together is really, really good.
Louise does sell
Louise
that,
is so
doesn't it?
good.
Yeah.
And then 7 is Guardians of the Galaxy.
1.
Wow. Love Guardians.
Wow.
I think we've rewatched that film so many times because it's so it's actually so well done, and the music just cinches you.
Yeah.
And then 6 is Captain America: The First Avenger.
Wow. You know what? I'm gonna give you a clap there. I'm gonna give you a clap because people underestimate Captain America: The First Avenger. People, I don't know why.
So good.
It's such a good film. I really appreciate that it's that high on your list. I don't think it's that high on my list, but it's still, you know, I haven't said it yet, obviously. But yeah, I think when you get to this point in the list, it's hard to gauge them where they are. Like the last 5 in the list generally are pretty
10.
set.
I was like,
you know. Yeah. No, I'm saying the bottom 5 in the list are pretty set. After that, it sort of gets difficult, and the best 10.
The top 10 is what I was saying.
It's a struggle, yeah.
It's difficult because you enjoy them all so much.
Yeah. It's literally which one you think you like more in that moment, but it could be different tomorrow.
Yeah.
So for me, number 10, Endgame. Yeah, Endgame is number 10. So it's close to yours. Close to yours.
Yeah, really close actually.
I think it was good, but there were just too many plot holes in the film. It just... It didn't flow as a story, I don't think, as well as the previous Avengers film. And I'd actually lean to say that I think Age of Ultron was a better made film than Endgame. But
can see why
from
you're
the
saying
character
that,
and story point of view, I think I prefer Endgame, just for the characterization that they've allowed over the time. But I think Age of Ultron, it might be a better film overall.
I can see why you're saying that.
Most people will probably disagree.
No, but I can see it.
I don't know why. I just have that feeling towards it. It might go up or down because I've only seen it once.
Yeah, we've only seen it once.
But yeah, that's number 10. Number 9, Captain America: The First Avenger.
Oh,
yeah, it's up there. It's up there. It's good.
It's
It's
made that
solid.
top 10.
Number 8, Civil War. A lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
Really fun.
A lot of good things in it.
Really good.
But it is number 7. It's there. It's heavy, you know? It's heavy.
Pretty heavy.
Because of that, it gets down there. 6. No, number 7. That was number 8 was Civil War. 7, Doctor Strange. So you haven't said Doctor Strange yet. So I'm interested to where it is on your list because I think it's a great film.
Yeah.
Again, it's one some people don't like.
Why?
Some people don't like it. They just say...
It's actually so good.
Because people view him in a way as like a pseudo rehash of Tony Stark. And less good. So
they're just saying that because of the goatee.
Maybe.
That's the only reason you're saying that. They're very different.
Maybe. Characterization-wise, they're both cocky.
Yes.
You know, they're both for themselves in a way.
But at the same...
So that's why.
But they have the same character arc in that
Similar
sense,
character arcs.
But they are still
getting
very
over themselves.
Yeah.
Getting over themselves, basically. And it works. Some people
yeah.
don't like it at all. I don't know why. I think it's great.
It's really...
It's so much fun. It's rewatchable. It's probably my second most... No.
Third most. Oh, we had that on a lot.
Fourth or fifth most watched MCU film.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We've
probably.
watched that.
I've watched it so many times.
You could probably play me a clip and I'll tell you which part of the film it's from.
Tilda Swinton's like bloody monologue when she's talking about dying. I can recite that practically. So yeah, man, it's very well put together. So that was 7. Number 6. Oh, you didn't say this shit. Thor Ragnarok. So you haven't said Ragnarok. We have a different top 5.
Really?
This is interesting. This is spicy.
This is spicy.
I think this was going to be this fun.
I neither did I. But Thor Ragnarok's better than What haven't you mentioned yet?
We're going to find out, aren't we?
That film is... I'll get to it when I get to it.
It's so good.
It's so good.
That's so good. It completely changed the Thor franchise.
Yeah, it really did.
Especially after Dark World, I think it needed a rehash.
Yeah.
And the character in Age of Ultron, I feel sort of went a little bit towards the character in Ragnarok, but not a lot. But with Taika Waititi, he just completely threw out the script and just said
it was
improvise.
amazing.
And
it was
just improvised
so
the film.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah,
like,
really well done.
Oh,
well done.
my
So
God.
number 6 for me, very good film, very well put together.
Interesting.
So go for number 5 to number 3 for you.
Okay, number 5, Avengers.
Wow, okay.
Love that film.
Okay.
4, Doctor Strange.
Okay.
And number 3, Thor Ragnarok.
Wow, we have a different set of lists. We
Yeah,
have
we do.
really different lists actually.
But it's just,
So in terms of so
Go on.
at 5 I have Avengers.
Oh,
So same as you. So I like that. I like that. I like that.
Good.
Similar. 4 Iron Man 1. Great film. And you haven't mentioned Iron Man 1, so it's one of your 1 or 2. Because again, it's like the first Captain America.
I've clocked what you haven't mentioned yet.
People love the first Captain America so much. Love the first Iron Man so much, but they don't love the first Captain America
I don't know
much.
why.
So I think Iron Man 1 is started the franchise and it just built on the world from there. Iron Man, Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr., all the same people.
Yeah.
Great job. Number 3, Winter Soldier.
Oh!
Oh, so I know you're number 1 and 2, I think. But your number 1 and 2 are in my top 4.
Yeah. Your number 1 and 2 aren't in my top 4.
Wow, we're similar, but not
I'm
the
really
same.
surprised.
Okay, all right. So, wow.
So do you want me
I'm
to-
interested
do
to
you want me
where which one's which.
Honestly,
I think I know.
I've written it down one way, but I'm gonna give it a switch because just
You're gonna give it a
thinking
switch.
Thinking about it in my head, this is actually the way it is.
All right.
Number 2, Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Oh! Oh!
So coming at number 1, my favorite MCU film ever is the man, it's the OG Iron Man.
I like that. Give yourself a clap. I mean, that's you put together a good list.
Thank you.
I appreciate the list. I disagree, but
No.
I don't disagree though because I think it's a great film.
Honestly,
it's like a 10 out of 10.
It's actually as
It's
close
a 10
to
out
a
of 10.
10.
It's a 10.
The characterization, amazing. The story, you can follow it through.
Yeah.
It's believable.
Yeah.
His arc, amazing.
Full.
The music,
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah, it was
Like,
such a good score. And the AC/DC stuff, yeah.
Absolutely. And it fits the character
So well.
as well.
Yeah.
And the human interaction, I can watch that film
Whenever.
over and over and it will always stand
The reason why it doesn't get even higher up the list for me is because of a slightly weak third act. I feel like
Yes.
you can't. I don't
Okay,
think you
no,
can
yeah.
justify it being number 1 in my opinion.
Do you
But
want to know what
it
it
is there.
It's the feel-good factor.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really, it's so good.
So it's a 10 out of 10 if you understand that.
Yeah.
The problem is my top 2 are 11 out of 10s.
Oh,
So that's
I see the way.
That's why.
I see. Well, just quickly go back to my number 2.
Yeah. Winter Soldier.
Soldier.
Yeah.
That film's always been amazing.
It's very well put. It was Joe and Anthony Russo's first film directed in the MCU.
They smashed it. I remember when we went to go and see it.
Yeah.
I walked out and I could barely.
The Peggy Carter scene, you were done.
I
you
was
and
so
wow. They're
bawling.
criers in films, so
Yeah, honestly,
they were
I mean,
done,
I
I
cry a
remember
lot
that.
in films. Specifically,
Yeah.
Endgame, I was there were so many tears. It wasn't like single tear. I was weeping. But
Oh.
I have to say,
all right,
they
interesting.
did a good job.
Interesting. All right.
What are
So my
yours?
number 2,
Go on.
Guardians of the Galaxy 1.
Volume 1. Yeah, I thought. Yeah.
I think
I
it's
thought so.
it's a special place. I don't think, it's one of my favorite films of all time, regardless of genre.
Yeah.
It transcends comic books for me in that vein. Number 1, do you know what it is?
What haven't you mentioned? I'm trying to think.
It was pretty low on your list actually, comparatively.
Is it Infinity War?
Number 1 is Infinity War.
Yeah.
It's probably my favorite MCU film. I think storytelling wise, it's way better than
Yeah.
Endgame. I think the plot holes are much less overall.
Yeah, they're very,
and
very few.
I feel that they tied up a lot of the characters very well in that film. And they gave a lot of characters who hadn't had a lot of screen time very good characterization. Scarlet Witch, Vision,
Yeah.
even smaller characters. They had something to say in the film. I do feel they did a really good job with Scarlett Johansson in Endgame, and she didn't have
Yeah.
as much to do in Infinity War.
Yeah.
But I think Infinity War is just a very well put together film. I can't find a fault in it for me.
Yeah.
I can't find a fault in it.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with the film. There are a couple of moments where I'm like, oh, maybe you shouldn't have done this or shouldn't have done that, but I have that with every film.
Yeah.
So for me, Guardians and Infinity War have been flipping about.
Interesting.
But-
Infinity War was 12 for me, but I think the reason for that is because
I just feel Thanos' characterization was so
No,
strong
actually, no,
in the film.
it
and in
absolutely-
Endgame, they almost completely got rid of it.
Yeah.
And made him a whisker-twirling villain.
yeah,
You know?
I think you're
Is it
right
whisker twirling?
there.
Moustache twirling.
Mustache twirling.
There we go.
Very
Yeah,
very apt
nice.
though.
Yeah.
But I agree with Infinity War was really really
Yeah.
good. The only reason it's lower down on my list is because it was very emotional.
Yeah.
And in a feel good film, I want feel good and less emotion.
Yeah.
But if I was in a different mood,
Bloody amazing.
Bloody amazing. I'd be going
Great.
flip.
Camera's gonna run out of charge.
Oh, God.
It's gonna run out of battery. Gonna run out of
Alright.
memory. If you didn't enjoy this video, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. If you didn't, then just fuck off. Just fuck off. Yeah. Now I've been the Original Comic.
I've been
You've been great, and I'll see you next time. Skadoosh.